Yep.
Not sure if we can do this video or not.
Hold your hair out of your face for you.
No. Okay, so we were just talking to some friends around here who just found out they were pregnant, and I was already kind of thinking earlier we might talk about our big family and having babies and such today, so that kind of made me want to all the more. We get asked a lot of questions, so I don't really know which the number one is, but one of the tops for sure is, how on earth did you end up with this many kids? Lots of variations of that question, but basically, y'all are nuts. Why do you have 10 kids?
Right.
That type of thing.
Yep.
So I thought we'd talk a little bit about that today. A lot of people ask specifically, did you both always want a big family? How did this come about? And the answer to that is, I don't know. I didn't really think about, oh, I specifically want like 3 kids or 12 kids, or I don't know. What about you?
I definitely didn't think I wanted a number of kids, no.
Me neither. That never really crossed my mind.
Nor did I think I would have 10 kids.
No, that never crossed my mind either.
No.
I actually probably would have been like, no way if you had told me. Not that I wouldn't want it, I just would have been shocked
Right.
to think that we would actually have 10 kids back 15 years ago. So
Right.
Anyway, we are coming up. Somebody asked recently on here how long we've been married. We are coming up actually next week on our 15th wedding anniversary. So that is how long we've been married.
Yep.
And when we were we friends or engaged? I think we were engaged. Yeah, we were engaged.
Yeah.
We were at this like Valentine's thing, dinner with a bunch of people.
Right.
And I don't know what people were talking about at the table, but Brian and I kind of looked at each other. We're like, oh yeah, we should talk about that.
Yeah.
And he actually said it first, people, believe it or not.
Yep.
It's true. He said, I was thinking that we could not use birth control and just see how many kids we have. I think that'd be pretty awesome. I was like, me too. And I had really been thinking that. And so there it kind of settled it. That's
right.
You know, just a little naive and but sincere conversation, and that settled it. That was our plan. So we got married, and 4 months later, I got pregnant. I was freaking out. I was terrified. Were you?
No, I wasn't. I was nervous, definitely. I wouldn't say terrified,
I
but
was
you're
terrified.
the one who had to carry a baby in your, you know.
I just felt so
Your own
young
baby in your body.
and tiny, and like I wouldn't even know what to do, and I was terrified but super excited. But I mean, surprised, like I was surprised I got pregnant so quick. But I mean, I was immediately excited and terrified, both. So anyway, this is kind of funny. Prior to me getting pregnant, so keep in mind we'd only been married for 4 months, Ryan says to me one day, hey, I was thinking, you know, when we have kids that I would want to work so you could stay home with the kids. Y'all, I was offended. I was like,
She was definitely.
I go, you stay home with all the kids. I like working. I don't want to stay home with the kids.
I was like, okay, that's fine.
Okay. So, wow. Yeah, he was all like trying to be sweet and like, I want to provide this for you, babe. And
Right.
I was like, I don't want to stay home with the kids. Like, you stay home with the kids. That sounds boring. I like to work and I like to make money. And no. Then I got pregnant, fast forward to probably like 2 months later.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to stay home with the kids. And haven't looked back. But anyway, so we went through the process, birthed our first precious baby boy, Manning, and I was in love, y'all. It was like, he was the most precious thing I have ever seen in my life. Absolutely loved having a newborn. I just thought it was the most precious thing, and soaked up all the moments. I mean, we had lots of hard moments in there, but I just loved it anyway. And I think you did too, huh?
It was amazing.
So then, I think 5 months later?
Yes.
5 months later, after
yes.
birthing Manning, I was terrified. I got pregnant, which was very surprising. I was still breastfeeding. Apparently you can't get pregnant when you're breastfeeding, but I can assure you that
folks.
You can, because it happened to me like 7 times. So if somebody's telling you that out there, that is false, people.
False information, don't believe it.
Anyway, so I got pregnant and I was terrified but really excited, but I was like so scared. I thought, how do you love another baby this much? I just love Manning so much. I couldn't imagine being able to love another baby that much. And so then we went through that process, birthed Tapestry, and I was like, oh my gosh, instantly, like, you obviously love them the exact same, just as much. And so our world felt pretty awesome. We had a boy and a girl, perfect little family, right? Mom, dad, boy, girl. It was precious. It was awesome. We loved it.
Yeah.
Then I think 5 to 7 months later, I'm not sure, we got pregnant with Cherish.
Yep.
That time I was not terrified. I was like expected. I was excited, and when I say expected, just because it happened so fast the first 2 times, it just didn't really surprise me.
Right.
So we were excited. But while I was pregnant with her, we heard for the very first time about one of these big TV families that had, I think, 17 kids at the time. And I remember telling Ryan, like, this family has 70 babies and she birthed them all. Like, did you know that this was possible? He's like, no.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Sorry, break for kid conversation. We had 10 kids, people, remember?
That's right.
Anyway, so I was like, oh my gosh, I did not know this was possible. And so I said, okay, we need to rethink this, babe. Like, we made this decision, but I wasn't thinking about no 17 babies. He's like, me neither.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, let's add up how many possible fertile years that I have, and like, is this a possibility for us based on our rate of having babies, so on and so forth. So we did the math. We're like, yes, it is 100% possible without twins,
right,
for us to have 17 babies. And we're like, we better think and pray about this.
Right.
And so it really, like, it's really just a one-day ordeal where we talked about it and we're like, but I would never take away Manning or Tapestry and soon to be Cherish. Like, you just can't imagine, and neither of us would have chose to have a baby that quick either time, I don't think, just out of fear and feeling like we weren't ready yet or prepared, or maybe we should financially do this, or maybe we're not mature enough, or so on and so forth. Just all the things and insecurities that probably most anyone feels. So we thought we would never take that away. It's just so precious, so let's just go for it. And we were both back to gung-ho, and then we birthed little Cherish, and she was the happiest, easiest baby. Literally cried less than any of our other babies. A lot of people say their hardest was going from 2 to 3. That was our easiest. Our hardest for sure was our first because we didn't know what we were doing, and I'm sure a lot of you felt that way. And so I was like, he's crying, I've changed his diaper, I've fed him 1,000 times, I feel like a milking cow, and I don't know what's wrong. So, you know, by this point, like, we felt pretty good, and I was energetic, and it was great. And so that was that. Then we had Liberty, and She was precious and adorable. And then we had Jubilee, and she was like so sweet, so cute, spunky, and kind of just different, like looks wise, and then her other siblings, so that was kind of fun. And she had a really hard time nursing, so I nursed her, but we also bottle fed her. And for some reason at that point, we have 5 kids, like ages 5 or 6 and under, and we didn't have no housekeeper or anything. I mean, I felt like we did everything. He went to work every day, and it was a lot.
Yeah, it was a
lot. It was awesome, but I was a little overwhelmed. Y'all, I went prior to getting married and prior to having babies, and so I kind of felt stuck to the house, because even when I had 1, 2, and 3 babies, I just took them with me, and we'd get out and I'd take them for a stroller ride and all that fun stuff. But I just felt glued to the house, and happy with my kids, but a little bit miserable, like internally, like, and overwhelmed. So I said, oh, can you watch the kids like 1 evening a week? And I just want to go. He's like, yes. So Monday evenings, I think it was, I just take off driving, usually to Houston. I would eat at Panera Bread by myself. My friends would be like, don't you hate eating by yourself? I was like, no, I love eating by myself. It is wonderful. Got my salad, my soup, my earbuds in, and I felt bad. I was like totally antisocial. Didn't want to talk to anyone. I mean, I was nice to the people in there if somebody said something to me, but I just wanted to be alone. And then I would just like drive around or go for a walk, and I needed it. So that rejuvenated me. And you know, Ryan, he felt like the overwhelmed of working and then coming home and kind of still going until you went to bed, kind of, right?
Yeah.
So you felt like that a little bit, but he did get that like break from being at the house,
right,
and with kids all day long going to work. So
yeah,
he just didn't feel it the same way I felt it, I don't think.
No, and honestly, I going to work was really like I had enough time because I was working on my own. I was able to set aside time to like have 1.5 hours to 2 hours every day, where in the mornings, early in the morning, where I could get that time that I needed to
like alone.
Yeah, to rejuvenate. Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
and for me that was every day. So
yeah, and I was always tired because I always had a breastfeeding baby. I was always up during the night. You know, I didn't want to get up before the kids. As soon as I stepped my feet out of the bed, like a kid would be awake. So that was pointless for me, and not gonna happen. So anyway, then we had Mercy, and once again, she was very, very different. She smiled. She's our only baby to smile with her mouth closed like this, so I always know her baby picture. She's like,
that's right.
And she'd have this big closed mouth smile.
Little bitty tiny baby.
Cute. She was miniature, like, and real pale skin, but like pretty pale, and this cute little closed mouth smile. And she looked a little bit like Liberty in her petiteness, but not like Liberty at all, because Liberty was head full of dark hair. Yeah. But anyway, and then, so we were still gung-ho, man, having babies. And oh yeah, so you might want to point out we had birthed 1 boy and then all these girls. All right. And so yes, by the time we got to Jubilee, which was our 5th, we did think, oh, surely it'll be a boy, you know. And well, I mean, we just laughed when we found out it was a girl. We did feel a little bad for Manning. Once we got to Jubilee, he actually teared up when we found out that Jubilee was a girl. Like, he had done really well for Tapestry, Cherish, and Liberty, but by Juby, he was ready for a brother, or thought he was. So, and he was real sweet and always awesome with his sisters, but you know, you can't blame him for wanting a brother. So, and we didn't care either way, but I kind of wanted Manning to get his brother since he wanted one so bad. And his Sunday school teachers would tell me he prays for a brother like every week. I was like, oh lordy. So Anyway, then we had Treasure, and Treasure was a little spunky Spitfire from the beginning, a lot like her mama, and was very fun, sweet little baby. And that is when, and we'll share Rhythm's adoption story on another video since we're talking babies today. But I do think it'd be fun to share that on another video. But I will say that wasn't really something we sought out. That was kind of something that came into our laps. And he was 9 when we adopted him. And so we felt like, you know, God really answered Manning's prayer, brought him that brother in some different means than we could have ever imagined. So we adopted Rhythm from China when he was 9, and that was after we had Treasure. And so that was pretty cool to have, the boys are the same age, to have 2 boys the same age, and they hit it off immediately and haven't looked back. I mean,
yeah, they were able to communicate with each other when he spoke only Mandarin and Manning English, and they knew what they were talking about.
You're right. I would say, Manning, what is Rhythm wanting? I can't. And he's like, oh, he wants to go ride bikes. I'm like, how did you figure that out? Anyway, so there was that. Then I got pregnant again with a girl. We had little baby River, who was precious and adorable. And then I got pregnant with, okay, so let me say this. Before I got pregnant with Bravely, I thought of the name Bravely Love. And I told Ryan, I think he was changing River's diaper. To my recollection, he was over there changing River's diaper. Right, yeah. And I said, oh, by the way, I thought of the best baby girl name, Bravely Love. He's like, I love that. I said, okay, I really hope that we have another girl and that we have a girl next, because I just think that's it, you know? Mm-hmm. So you would be thinking I'd be wanting a boy, but I just was set that we were gonna have a little Bravely Love. So shortly after that, we found out I was pregnant, and I really, you know, I would have been thrilled if it was a boy, since we'd only birthed 1 boy, but I was really hoping for my little Bravely Love. I've been like maybe 1 second disappointed if it wasn't my little Bravely Love. So anyway, found out that she was a girl, and I was like, oh, Bravely Love. And y'all, that girl melted my heart with her little glasses, needing glasses, a little baby and stuff. I mean, if we were gonna have a last baby, she'd be perfect to end on. I mean, she is the sweetest little thing. But during that pregnancy, I had some issues. I had kidney stones. I got a freakishly swollen kidney. They were going to go in and put it in a nephrostomy tube. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's creepy.
Yeah, it's creepy.
And I literally went to the hospital to have it put in. I was like, can you check one more time to see if my kidneys are spewing into my bladder on, it was the right side. And so they said, okay, we'll check one more time. So they took me to ultrasound. They actually ended up checking, I think 3 times. Was it 3?
Yeah, 3.
I don't know why they decided to check 3 times, but the 3rd time they saw enough spill into my bladder where they said, all right, we saw it. You don't have to get the tube. I was like, oh, yeah, thank God. So got through that, but I was in a lot of pain with kidney pain, flank pain, as you call it. And had her, and then she had, we think, laryngomalacia, which is where your soft flappy thing is kind of too loose and hangs down, and kids have trouble breathing. And we kept taking her to the doctor and they couldn't really figure it out, but she would have these episodes where she'd wake up suddenly and go and sometimes it'd take her like way too long to catch her breath, where she'd start turning colors. It was terrifying to me. And so that was really difficult. She was the first baby who we really had to sleep in our bed a lot, because she slept best propped on my arm. Mm-hmm. And so that was pretty scary. Then she had, her tongue needed clipped underneath. That was really scary to get done. It bled and bled and bled. Yeah. And so she had feeding problems prior to getting her tongue clipped. We had that done. Then I noticed she had some other problems, which ended up her needing glasses. because she's severely farsighted and cannot see up close hardly at all. Anyway, all those little things, my body was feeling ready for a break, and I was a little scared and overwhelmed with her issues and just wanted to focus on taking really good care of her and not being pregnant with another baby. So I just felt like I could really focus on her and care for her, you know, and get her to the places she needed to be. So that was really the first time that we decided together, let's take a break.
Right.
You know, Ryan's really cool. Like, he's like, it's your body. If you want a break ever, like, just because we said we'd have however many babies, like, take a break, you know?
Right.
And we had taken a small break in between, purposely, so that I could get my wisdom teeth out one time, because they were really bothering me and I couldn't be pregnant and get those out. So we had taken a short break for that. Otherwise, we had never purposely taken a break. So Bravely is 2, and we have purposely taken a break. Is it just a break, or are we done? What do you think?
I guess they have to stay tuned, huh?
Yeah, stay tuned and just see.
Yeah.
I will say I have been getting a little bit of baby fever lately, haven't I? I've been talking about it.
Yeah.
Lately, like, oh, don't you want to have another baby? The girls have been talking about it.
The girls.
Manning sent me, cutest thing, so he sent me a postcard from wherever we were for my birthday back in September. And y'all, this is so sweet. He is a 13-year-old teenager. He sent me a postcard saying happy birthday to our address.
Yeah.
And it said, I hope you have another baby soon. Oh my gosh, that was like, that is the sweetest thing ever. 13-year-old boy, the brother of 1,000 sisters, and an adopted brother, wants me to have another baby. So, oh, that was precious. That made me want another baby.
Yeah.
I've been seeing some other babies lately. You people on Facebook having all these babies.
I know.
Showing me all your cuteness. And then these people we just talked to and have been becoming friends with this week, she just found out she's pregnant, and I'm like, oh, we need another baby. So I don't know. And would we adopt again? Yes.
Yes.
Not right now, because you actually can't adopt. I don't know if you know that. Not living in an actual physical house. You have to be in a physical house. So that would not be right now. You can birth a baby, not in a physical house, but you cannot adopt. So we also sadly could not adopt from China again right now, because they changed the laws shortly after we adopted Rhythm, and our family size is too big and our most recent baby is too young to be able to adopt from there right now. But would we adopt again one day? Yes. Will we for sure? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. So I know that, you know, people think, and people have asked us, like, how can you possibly give that many kids enough time and attention? And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, oh, I feel like we're perfect at that. Y'all, I think every mama has this nagging feeling deep down, am I doing enough? Whether you have 1 kid or 10 kids, I will probably always have that feeling, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if men experience that like moms do, but yes, no matter what category we're talking about in mothering, I'm always like, am I giving them enough? Am I giving them what they need? Does this kid or that kid need this or that or more from me? And I try to, all I can tell you is I try to listen to my kids if they talk to me about something they need, or even listen to their nonverbal and watch that and see if I think that they need more or something. I mean,
yes.
I have studied a lot of psychology. I have been through a lot of counseling personally. I do know that kids act out when they need more, and so we do have little ones act out sometime. I do assume and read that as them needing more cuddles and more loving from mom and dad. So I usually talk to Ryan about that, and we try to do that for that particular kid until it seems to have, you know, well, and even keep that up, and then it seems to work itself out. So I can't tell you that we're perfect in that area, but gosh, I know that one of my highest goals in life is to love my kids and love them well.
Yeah,
and
me too.
Like, They have my whole heart, and
Yep.
they're each of them. Somebody asked in the comments here, which one's your favorite? I'm like, ha, ha, ha. I'm like, why do you think we got them the book? You're all my favorites.
We used to read that to them every night.
Because we want them to all know that.
Yeah, and we still tell them that.
Yes.
And that's our, like I've told them recently, that's our main goal, that they would look back in life, every single one of them, and think, I think I was mommy and daddy's favorite.
Yeah.
And I told them, I was like, I want y'all all to feel that way.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what they do.
And we do a lot of group stuff, and they're grouped together a lot, but we do try to treat them very individual, handle them on an individual basis while still trying to have a fairness factor going on. That is absolutely complicating with 1, 2, 3, or 10 kids. Well, not really 1, I guess, but 2, 3,
yeah.
Any amount above that. And goodness, we definitely don't have it all figured out. We aren't the perfect parents. I'm always growing and learning, and always feel like I need any bit more, and any bit that God can give me more to understand or know, or some advice from other people. I hope to always stay very teachable, and need more of that. But we definitely really love our crazy big family, and love having all these kiddos.
We do.
Adopted and bio.
Yep. That's awesome.
All right, and one more thing I want to say before we go. This is super important to me. I know that a lot of you struggle with infertility, and I know that videos like this and seeing someone like me have a bazillion babies is not easy, and that can really be painful. And I know that me even saying this may not mean whatever, but I just want you to know that I'm sensitive to that. I do care about that. Every pregnancy I've announced, I have thought about that, and Ryan knows I have a huge sensitivity to that. Why I have you know, been able to get pregnant and have all these babies, I don't know. I don't have the answers to that. I don't think it's because I'm better than anyone, did something more right, just a really blessed person. Any of that stuff I think is really trash. I think you are perfectly sufficient just the way that you are, and really hope that you will be able to get pregnant and have the baby that you want one day too, if you're struggling with that. And I'm really sorry if that hasn't happened yet for you. And we both just really care about that.
Absolutely.
And so we're talking about this because we do get these questions. This is our life, and this is the life we live, but it doesn't mean that we don't care about others who have a different life and haven't had this experience and would just kill to have one baby. We understand. We don't understand. We never will understand the pain of that, but we do understand that that is very painful, and very painful to see someone like us who can just have all these babies. And so to you, we say we care, and sending lots of love and a whole dozen hugs your way today. So we'll end there, and hope you all are doing well, and we'll catch you on the next one.
See y'all later.
Bye.